All right, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining the new student orientation. Hopefully you'll get some interesting information out of this that'll be helpful for you later on. So I'm Julianne Dupuy. I'm Associate Dean of the School of Education. Our Dean, Kathy Doherty, hopefully will be able to join us in a little bit just to welcome you all. But we'll just go around real quick and I'll introduce the people that you see on here so you can put names to faces. I'll start with Ryan.
Hi, I'm Ryan Schaaf. I'm Associate Professor of Educational Technology here in the School of Education.
Donna.
Hi, I'm Donna Schisler, and I'm one of the academic advisors for graduate programs. I work with teachers who are coming back to get their master's degree or a postmaster's certification in a different area.
Marcia.
Hi, I'm Marcia Simpson, and I am also an advisor working with ACT and Master's MAT programs.
Lisa.
Hi, I'm Lisa Pallett, Assistant Dean in School of Ed. I'm also the PhD Program Advisor.
Kathy.
Hi, I'm Kathy Sipes. I'm the Undergraduate Advisor and work with students both in the college program and in the Women's College.
Kate.
Hi, I'm a librarian at the Loyola Notre Dame Library.
Evelyn.
Good evening. I'm Evelyn Spratt, an associate professor, historian. I work with PhD students in history, and I'm also the director of the Elizabeth Morrissey Honors Program.
And Macy.
Hi, I'm Macy. I work with Southern Maryland students as well as main campus students who are earning their initial certification and advanced certification. So I do both. Nice to see you guys tonight.
All right. Thank you, Notre Dame team. So we're going to go ahead and just jump into the library services. So Kate, if you want to go ahead and tell us the great information that you have to share, that'd be lovely.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've got about between like 5 and 10 minutes about the library services. I'm working from home right now and I don't have the great Wi-Fi, the best Wi-Fi service. So I'm going to turn off my my camera while I share my screen. So just give me one moment to go ahead and do so.
And you have the ability to share and do whatever you need to do.
Okay, fantastic. I think this may be the right screen. Let's see. Shoot. Oh, rats. I'm so sorry, all. I'm on my little sister's computer right now and she looks like she has some different systems set up. So I can just talk about the library services while I've got you. I don't want to go through everything. While I'm doing so, I welcome you to explore the library website. I'll put it in the chat at this time. Or if somebody else would be open to sharing their screen with the library website, I can navigate through.
I'm happy to do that for you. Just give me a moment.
Okay, fantastic. So while Ryan's getting that all set up, I can introduce myself. So my name is Kate. I'm a librarian at the Loyola Notre Dame Library. Just as a bit of background, the Loyola Notre Dame Library serves the communities of both Loyola University Maryland and Notre Dame of Maryland University. So what that means for you is just we have more access to resources. The two schools have different programs, and so we support both. Oh, Ryan, thank you so much. We have resources and services to support both schools. The library building is currently open, will be open throughout the summer. To enter in the library, all you'll need to do is swipe or tap your campus ID card. You do need that to enter into the building. There are 4 floors of available spaces to study, and the study spaces include quiet floors and tables, individual carrels, reservable group study rooms. Ryan, if you could hover over the spaces and technology drop-down menu and then click on the innovation station. I'd love to talk to you all a little bit about the resources and technology that we've got available here. So the innovation station includes makerspace technology, including a Cricut maker, a laser cutter, a button maker. We've got a couple of 3D printers, a very high-tech sewing and embroidery machine. We've even got a virtual reality classroom and a recording studio as well. So the innovation station is totally open and free to use. The technology can be reserved. I really do invite you to explore this page where we've got a little bit more information about each of the technologies and each of the trainings that you'll need to get through to access the technology. We just ask ask that you view the trainings just to get a little bit of information before you come in. But we do also have technology services staff who are available to help you through with the technology with in-person trainings as well as support as well. In addition to having that in-person support, every semester we also have technology pop-up classes where you'll be able to see the makerspace technology in action, get some hands-on experience. In the past, those classes have included learning how to laser engrave a photo, an introduction to ArcGIS, which is a software related to maps and geographic information, designing and 3D printing a keychain, and then even further back, we've got classes like learning to knit, designing for social media, working with fonts with the Cricut Maker. This past year, I also did an Intro to Zotero workshop, which I'll continue as well. Zotero is a fabulous resource related to saving citations. So for graduate students, this can be really helpful. If you're interested, I can send along some more information about the pop-up classes that we've got here. So I definitely recommend keeping an eye out on the library website for more information and to register for classes in the fall semester. If you could navigate back to the main site of the library website, there we go. So the search bar in the middle of the page, I'll just give a brief introduction to that. That's where we can search for books, articles, book chapters, and a lot of different resources here. We've got access to the books in the library, but we also partner with 17 local universities where we can borrow books from them. Even further outside of that, we have a network with libraries all over the world called Interlibrary Loan, where if we don't have a book or an academic article for you in the library in the moment, we can get it for you from a different library. Oh yes, Ryan, you're on top of things. I appreciate it. This is also a great introduction to accessing things from off campus. All you'll need to do is use your single sign-on. So use your Notre Dame username and password to log in. And this is where you can request those articles, books, or book chapters. Articles and book chapters take about 24 hours to arrive, and they'll be sent to you as PDFs, whereas books will take about a week to arrive. So what I always recommend, kind of like the insider tip, is if you know you need a book, request that book, but then also request that first chapter that you need so you can get access to your reading a little bit faster. You can't request all of the chapters that you need through Interlibrary Loan just due to copyright restrictions, but you can get started while you're waiting for that whole book. Let's see what I'm missing. Ryan, if you can navigate back to the library website, I do want to tell you one more thing about how to get help. So there's a couple of different ways of getting in contact with us. If you could hover over the help drop-down menu towards the top left corner of the page. I saw you navigating to chat, which I definitely appreciate. Chat is something that's fantastic. There's a couple of different ways of getting in contact with us. That first option, chat, is something that's really great because it's available 24/7. So what that means for you is if it's, a Sunday at 2 a.m., if you're working from home, if you, kind of just don't want to come to the library but need some quick help, that chat service in the bottom right corner of the library website, that's always available, and it always has librarians on the other end that can answer your question. So all you need to do is type in your question, and a librarian on the other side will be able to respond to that. A couple of other options of getting in contact with us. We also have library appointments. So I think that second option, meet with library staff, is where you can schedule a one-on-one in-person or online appointment with a research librarian. They can help you talk you through things like which databases to use, the search terms that you're using for your research project. If you've got all of the available resources related to your topic or anything of the sort, kind of figuring out scope of a research project. And then also you're more than welcome to come into the library. We've got librarians in the library, or give us a call or send us an email as well. So just, a couple of brief introduction things to the library today. If you do have further questions, I'll put my email in the chat, but you're also welcome to chat with a librarian on the library website, or follow up with me. So thank you all so much for listening to a little bit more about the library. Does anybody have any questions at this moment? No? Okay, well, thank you so much. And I hope to see you all in the library or see you all using electronic resources. Thanks for having me here today.
Thank you, Katie.
Thank you.
All right, so moving on, we're going to have Dr. Spratt go over the honor code information. That's very important to studies at Notre Dame. You're muted, Evelyn.
Thank you. Notre Dame does have an honor code. Not every school does, but it's something that we pride ourselves on. And it was, I'll give you a little bit of a history. We've had it since 1936. And what does that mean? It means the practicality of it is we have unproctored tests were initiated in 1936. So while you're on campus, I mean, when we're face to face, you might end up having an exam where there's no professor in the room, and this dates back to then. Students pledge to act with integrity in academic and personal life, and so we are able to uphold this with a pledge that they make on each assignment and or exam that they take. Why do we have that? It's part of a privilege and a responsibility to be part of the Notre Dame community. And it also has us think a little bit more about our actions and behaviors. We see it as there's effectiveness of the honor code, and it depends upon the individual's acceptance of responsibility. So not only responsibility for what you're doing in your classwork, but it does spread out into people's behaviors and how they act towards one another and towards themselves. What are the students' responsibilities? So I would ask you to look at the University Student Handbook, and there's a link, or it's pages 1 to 21 that talk about it. We also have a list of what are our academic and behavioral standards, what are the expectations for students at Notre Dame, and what prohibited conduct is also listed there. If a student has not acted in accordance with any of these standards, they can be brought up to the honor board, which is a space that is provided for students to come and state issues they might have. So it consists of 3 members of faculty and staff. They're elected by their peers, and the head of the honor board is a student elected by her peers. And the honor board would meet and deliberate the issue and determine the consequences of the, sorry, it's my phone, of the actions of the student in question. And so it's a place where if a student has been affronted by something, they can ask to have the honor board bring this other student to the honor board, and people can discuss what went on. If they are found that that student is guilty of it, then they would be asked to perform certain things or attend a class or do some reading on something to help them improve what they're doing. The honor commitment, this is what we ask our students to consider very seriously, and I'll let you take a minute just to read that. It's the beginning of the school year. We talk about making this commitment to the honor code. And this is the honor pledge that we ask students to make. We do that at honors convocation. And on every assignment, we ask students to affirm that they've neither given nor received help in the exam, paper, or assignment. And so professors will ask for students to have that. They might have certain ways they like to have it communicated to them, but that is something that you'll be asked to do as a student here at Notre Dame. Are there any questions on that? Okay.
Thank you so much. Okay, moving on, I'm going to pass it over to Ryan, who's going to walk us through a website that we put together for students to be able to access lots of different information and contacts. So I think Ryan just put the link in the chat. And so I would encourage you to bookmark this because it answers lots of questions without you having to wait for an email response back from advisors. So go ahead, Ryan.
Hi, good evening, everybody. So I'm sorry if I'm not staring directly into this. I'm sharing my second screen. So the website that I gave you the link to is one, as Joanne mentioned, it's one that we created to help students once they come into the School of Education, because there's a lot of just different offices, different people, different personnel, and different policies we really wanted to give you. There's also a lot of tools and resources that you have at your fingertips, but sometimes it's just easier to have it all in one place. And this is still kind of a growing website that'll keep on being developed. So please do bookmark it and use it in the future. So we'll start off with the homepage. There is an agenda for this meeting that we're kind of jumping around on, just so we could respect other people's time and just with who's here today. I will put a link up to the recording. So if you have a friend that's with you as well at Notre Dame and you want them to see a resource or experience this orientation, you're welcome to click on this link, or they can even go back to a link in time. So the homepage has the university mission statement. I will spare you from reading it, but I want to really point out some important links, and that is, number one is the academic calendar. This links to the main Notre Dame webpage. It has a massive list of all the academic calendars and all the different things. This is important because Notre Dame has quite an extensive set of programs, and a lot of times they have different schedules and calendars. For instance, pharmacy, the School of Pharmacy goes on a different schedule than, say, for instance, School of Art, Science, and Business. School of Education is also the same way. We just have, so anyway, you can go into the academic calendar. It is on the main page for that. Also, at your fingertips is the student portal. This is very helpful for when you want to access all the important technology services. There is access to get your email, Student 365 portal. I'm going to go in here. There's Web Advisor, which is like the student information system. There's also self-services. These two things are really kind of taking over if you want to pay your bill, or if you want to find scheduling materials, you can go to self-service as well. I will start by, let's see, I'm gonna go back to homepage just briefly and also show you what else is on the homepage, and that is the School of Education Handbook. So the School of Education Handbook is right here, and you can go through and read it. It talks about the structure of the School of Education. It talks about, just all the different policies that you have to be aware of. And there's more information here about Dr. Spratt and what she mentioned about the honor code. It's written right here, and more information there for you too. There is a School of Education conceptual framework. We work from the framework of research, self-reflection, vocation, and practice. You'll notice this on a lot of our syllabi. If you have a need and you need accessibility or disability support services, you're more than welcome to contact them. There is information here on how to get in contact with the office and what exactly those steps are and the progression from when you first contact them through to potential accommodations that you can receive in your class. And I'm going to keep on going. And if you're in the PhD program, I put in here a copy of the PhD program, the guide, the handbook, which was revised in 2020. So this is the most up-to-date one as far as I know. There are links to the counseling center. If you need any help, you can request an appointment and get in contact with them. It is they can help you with all sorts of things. There's a list of the different ways that they can help you. There is also a COVID resource list. And let me just keep on going through here. I need to go to, I'm gonna go back here to the portal and just say, so for email, so IT does have it on the main page too. I'm sorry, on the main page, there is a little section on here on how to use your student email, how to get to it. It's live.ndm.edu. If you go there, you'll again grant access. Now you have to understand that the School of Education is separate from IT. Even if you hear that I'm the Associate Professor of Educational Technology, I have nothing to do with IT. So if you need to get in contact with them, the contact information for them is, it's right on this page. Let's see, I have it right here in offices. I think, is it important offices? No, here it is, help desk in IT. So if you need to contact IT at all, it's 410-532-5200, or you can email them at helpdesk@ndm.edu. We'll talk in a moment about the e-portfolio. Let's see what page, IT, making sure to go through all of this in order. I'll just mention briefly about just Chalk and Wire. Chalk and Wire is, we use an e-portfolio for students' assessments. It is a separate service. If your program uses it, you'll be, your advisors will let you know, your instructors will let you know. But if you need contact and resources for Chalk and Wire here, there's the web page, there's student e-portfolio directions, there's even screencasts on how to set up your own e-portfolio account. And there's also, of course, the e-portfolio policy, just all the information about who creates one, how to gain access to the different resources, how to pay for it online, and who to contact if you need any technical support. The email addresses are there. You can always contact me as well. I'll put my email address when I'm done going through. Anyway, that's Chalk and Wire. Bright space. Okay, so the university recently switched to a new learning management system. We used to use a version of Moodle. Now we use Brightspace. So it's brightspace.ndm.edu. Again, when you get your credentials, say for instance, your student email addresses and stuff, the IT packet, the information technology packet usually will also give you your Brightspace credentials, the way you can access it and go to the classes. I'm going to click on it real quick, show you what to expect. Basically, they'll show up as these little tiles right here, and it's based on, you can go by the different semesters. So I'm just going to go to spring 2022. I'm sorry, summer 2022, since I haven't started it yet. There's nothing private in there yet. So when you want to access a class, you'll just click on these to enter them. Let's see, which one do I want to click on? I think we're going to have this class, so I can go in there. So you'll go in here, you'll be able to do all your assignments. You can go to content to get to your main pages in here. And right now it's blank because it's just a brand new shell. If you need to go to activities, you can go to assignments, you can go to your discussions. If you want to see your grades, you can always click on grades. It's a very user-friendly system. There's 15 different ways of doing things, but once practice really does help you develop your skills and how to use it. But I will say this, there's also help if you need any help. There's this helps thing. We do have Brightspace support 24/7. The university did pay for 24/7 access to support. There's also video tutorials. If you need to learn how to do something, you can learn how to do something. So you'll be able to access coursework there. So I use calendar Brightspace. I'm just going to go back to my main page and make sure I did not forget anything else. I'm sure web advisors, I showed self-service. I can't go to really self-service. It'll show you my information, just kind of privileged. But if you go to the main student portal, you'll be able to access all those massive technology services that you might be able to use. Bookstore. I think bookstore usually ended up with me. I apologize. If you need to contact the bookstore, you can email them. It is downstairs. I will say that those hours are probably not going to be summer hours. If I find out what the summer's hours will be, I will adjust the summer hours. I have seen them. I have visited them. I know they do. Well, I'm sorry. Does somebody know any more about the time? Okay. I'll make sure to update the hours for summertime operations. But if you need to contact them, there's the web address right there. I will say that their portal for ordering books is pretty substantial, very helpful. And of course, you can always look and find a book on Amazon if you have to. Just beware. And if you need to email them to contact them about anything, you can always use bookstore@ndm.edu. I think that is all I had. Dr. Dupuy, did I forget anything? Dr. Powell, did I forget anything? Okay, well then I am going to turn it over to Donna Schischler. Let me stop sharing.
Okay, hello. I'm just going to talk about a few things. Student ID cards. You need your student ID cards for access to things on campus, to use the copy machines, different things like that for the dining hall. So you get your student ID card over in Rice Hall in where IT is located, and they'll give you a picture ID card there. If you are not on campus taking online classes, you don't have to come in and get an ID card, but if ever you're on campus, you can always go to Rice Hall and pick one up. The document center is in the basement of Caroline Hall. Used to be Gibbons Hall, now the name has changed to Caroline Hall. The document center is in the basement. There are machines that you can use, but there is also a document center where you can order other things if you want posters or colored printouts, different things like that. You can order stuff there. They also have a small post office attached there. Their hours usually are like 9 to 5 or 8:30 to 4:30, something like that. Security is also in the basement of Caroline Hall, and that's where you get your parking pass for your car. You also can get one at the front desk, the first floor main entrance of Caroline Hall. But security will give you a sticker for your car. You need to have the make and model, color, tag number for your car to get that. Again, if you're not on campus all the time, you may not, want to bother doing that. But to park in certain areas, you have to have the sticker. And we do have an emergency alert system here at the college that you can register your cell phone number so that if there's bad weather or something's wrong with the college, that they have to cancel things, they will send you a text message alert. Okay, did I cover everything? I think so. Okay, who's next?
So that is it from our end before we break out into the specific groups for your programs. But if you have any questions for any of us as a larger group, we're happy to answer those. Okay, so I guess if there's no other questions for the larger group, Ryan is gonna put up the different breakout groups, and you'll just choose which group that you belong to. It makes the most sense for you. So if you are in the graduate programs and Donna would be your advisor, you'll click on that one.
And again, I do people that are already certified. So if you're looking for initial certification, that would be Macy and Marcia, okay? But if you're already a certified teacher, that's me.
And then Kathy Sipes, want to describe your?
Sure. Actually, Carly, Asma, and Melissa come with me.
Okay. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. So Kathy does our undergrad and cause.
And Lisa is going to do PhD.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep,
So,
just give me a moment to work on the breakout room. Sorry, folks.
okay. So as soon as Ryan opens those, you can choose the one that you will be going to, and then we will meet in the smaller groups and then sign off from there. So we're not going to come back to the bigger room. So once you've met with your advisor, you feel free to go. And then Ryan, like he said, is going to post this on the website that we reviewed. So you'll be able to go back and look at that if you have any questions or can't remember names of people, and then also share with your friends if needed.
Okay, so I'm gonna create 4 breakout rooms. I'm gonna just let participants choose the room. So if you are in the PhD program, you're gonna go with Dr. Pallet into room number 1. Okay, room number 2 is gonna be with Macy and is it Marcia? Sorry. You're gonna go into their room, so that'll be room 2. Room 3 will be Donna. And room 4 will be Kathy Sipes. So I'm going to go ahead and create them right now. And again, it's 1 would be Lisa, Dr. Pallet, 2 would be Macy and Marcia, 3 would be Donna, and 4 would be Kathy Sipes.
And if you're not quite sure, you can hang out here and Dr. Dupuy will help you figure out where to go.
So I have 1, 2, I have 3 students remaining. Asma, do you know where you're going?
They're all staying with Kathy.
Yeah, she's gone with me. But I didn't
Okay.
get a thing to join, where I can join. Yeah, are you still doing this?
I did do it. So you're number 4, so you would enter number 4.
If you go to the bottom, Kathy, in the little 3 little dots where it says more, and then click on that, it should give you a pop-up and it says join breakout room,
All right, wait a minute. Where are the 3 little dots?
or it says more at the bottom of the screen.
Or it might say breakout room. Mine actually
Or it
said
might be breakout room.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, okay,
automatically
gotcha.
come up, and I
And
had to do it.
what number am I for?
4. Yep.
Yeah, gotcha.
There's nobody in my breakout room.
All right, Ryan, you want to turn off recording, please?
Yep. Give me 1 second. I'm doing it.